Alright, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use Pixellab from scratch as a beginner with no experience, or with experience I'm still going to be going through how to use Pixellab. So if you don't have the app, just go straight to Play Store and download it from Play Store. So this is Pixellab here, this one at the middle here. So I'm going to open my Pixellab and okay, let me click on cancel now. So once you open your Pixellab, this is how the layout looks like. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be showing you is how to add text to your designs. Alright, so this text icon here, once you click on it, you can hold on your text and drag it. Alright, while if you scroll like this, you can use your position to move it. You can increase the level of pixel you want to move it. If you want to move it slower and see how it's moving, or you want to use relative position, you want to put it, let's say this is the middle, and then you want it to be at the center or by your right, by your left. That's the work of relative positions. Okay, alright, so that's it. And then if you want to edit it, you can also increase the size by tapping on this white icon by your left below the text. You can click on it and then drag it, right, to increase your size. Meanwhile, if you want to increase your size, down here you can also click on size and then increase your size, reduce it. So there are two ways on how you can increase your size or reduce it. And then if you want to edit, there are two ways to edit. Once you click on your text, you can either double tap on it, then it will show you to edit. So let's change this to Chadash media and click on OK. So the text changes automatically. And then another way to edit your text is, once you click on it, you don't need to scroll, you just see edit here, you click on edit and then you can change it to whatever you want. And then click on OK. So you are good to go with your text. And then let's say you want to duplicate your text, you can click on copy here, copy, and then it's duplicated. You can copy it many times, so you have multiple of it. So let's just go ahead and delete the rest because we don't need much of it. Alright, so to the next icon, you can see to front and to back, but you will not be able to know what this effect is until, okay, let's create a shape now so that you will see what our effects can do. Down here, just click on this middle workspace here and click on shapes, and then here you can, let's change the color to black and click on OK. Alright, so once you have created your shape, at this icon here you can select on it to see your layers. Alright, so this text is below the shape, right? So we are going to click on the text here and then click on your layers to remove it so that it will not block your view. And then we'll click on the text workspace and scroll. So now what I want to show you is how to bring your text forward and backward, forward and backward. So now it's at the back of our shape. If you bring it forward, it's at the front of our shape. So that's how that one works. And if you scroll again, you can see your padding. Okay, I think this is the work of this one. If you want to pad your text to your right without you adding space and all of that, it's more easier like this. Okay, or to your right, whichever one you want to do. Though I don't really use that effect, it's not really necessary for me. I prefer moving my tint. And then switching your color, you can click on switch colors, to whichever color you prefer, white, red. You can click on this plus icon to add a new color, so you can just blah 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 like that. And then, for example, you have some pictures in this into your design already, and then you want to pick a color from your background or whatever wherever you want to pick your color from, you just click on this icon here to pick a color. Alright, so these are the only two elements in this design. That's why you are seeing the two elements up here, right? So from here now I can select any color I wish to select. If I click on black, black is just one color, so there's nothing there. Let's say we select this color and click on OK, and then click on OK. So our text automatically has that color, right? So you can see it. So that's how to pick a color. And then we have gradient colors as well. Once you click on gradient colors, okay, you won't see all of this here, right? Sorry, let me delete this shape. I actually created this fading gradient by myself. It's not a big deal. Let me show you how to do it. So once you click on color, once you click on gradients, this is what you'll be seeing, I think, from this black side. So this is gradient colors, multiple colors in your text layouts. Alright, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a gradient color. So once you click on your color and you go to gradients, then you click on this plus icon here. Now you can see there's just one color here, right? Now this other color here, I selected transparent because I just wanted the text to fade, and all of that. So you can use this icon here to add color. Once you click on it, you can select your color. If you look up here, you'll notice that it's still transparent. That's because this last layer here is pan to the transparent side completely. So I'm going to pan it so that it's going to be completely filled with the color. You can see up there, so it's already filled. So I cannot select my color. Let's use something like this, or something related to purple. Let's make it a little bit dark and then click on OK. Alright, so you can see different colors. Let's change this black to, let's say, red. I want it to be red color. Alright, yeah, so we now have a gradient color. If you scroll under here, you can select just one alphabet and switch the color to something like this. Okay, it doesn't work for gradient, it works for just one particular color. If you want to use one particular color for one text, meanwhile you can duplicate your text and then switch the colors too as well. So let's say we want only the M in the media to be black. I'll select black. Can you see that now? Like that. So let's say we want only the house to be red, or let's say we want it to be, let's say, green. Let's select green color. Right, okay, so now it's green. But for example, if I want, I can duplicate, and then maybe from this first I can decide to delete the media. Right, I'll delete the media from this first text. Then this up one here, I'll not delete the house and click OK. So it's still the same thing, right? So this house, now I can decide to switch the colors. So whichever way you want to do it, it depends on you, right? Okay, so after the color, we have the texture tool here. Now the way texture tool work is that it allows you to use an image as the color of your background, or of your texts, whatever. Now the way it works is that it allows you, let me click on it, it allows you to use an image to replace the color of your text. So once you click on this icon here, it's open your gallery. So I'm going to go straight away and I'm going to go to wherever I want to go and select an image. Let's say I want to use this. You can use any size if you want to, right, depending on the way your text is being arranged, so that you can fit in a particular side of the image. And I'll just click on OK. So you can see that image is fitted into this text layout here. Alright, so let's delete all of this. Let's add a new one so we can continue. So that's that for the texture. Then you know what opacity does. You can reduce the opacity and your text will be showing again. That is adjusting the visibility of your text. Alright, and then you can see the rotate here. You can rotate to whichever direction you wish to. Meanwhile, you can use the icon here below your text. This I don't know the name now for that, but once you hold on it, you can also use it to rotate your text. But the reason why it is important that you use your rotate tool is because when you use your rotate tool, for example, I have multiple text layout and I want to rotate all of them in the same to the same level, so I won't be struggling. For example, if I'm rotating this to 30, right, and then I add a new text, now I may not be able to get it perfectly using my hand, so I'll just come here and use my rotate tool. See, this is 29, then I'll set it to 30, so they are equally, now they are equally rotated to the same angle, right? Okay, sorry for that notification. My battery is low. I'm going to charge it soon. Alright, so the next one is your masking tool. We're not going to be using that now. That's for another section, like that's like a pro section. I'm going to do another video on that. It's not an easy tool to just start using like that. And then over to your font. Font is very important when you're using your text. It's very important, right? So once you click on font in your own newly installed Pixellab, you only have fonts from Pixellab, right? So these are the fonts that comes with Pixellab. If you look up here, there are three sections: fonts, my font, and recent fonts, right? So my font section is where you have installed fonts. All the fonts that are here, I downloaded them one by one and installed all of them. I was able to bring them into Pixellab. I'm going to do another video and show you how to install fonts into Pixellab. So once you click on it, on any font that you want, it changes the text to that particular font, right? Yes. So the next icon here, which is your style icon, once you click on it, you can make your text bold. So you can see the effects, right? So you can just select under here, you can select a part of your text that you just want to add an effect to, and that's how it works. Over to your curve. We all know the work of the curve to rotate your text and all. This tool can be very handy, right? So your text background, let's say you want to add a background to your text, you click on it and then you have a background, right? So you can switch the colors to whichever one you want, and then you can set how you want your background to be. If you want it big, it depends on how you want it. Meanwhile, you can also add a shape at the back of your text, right, to use it for your text background. Whichever way you want to do it, you see the same thing we are trying to achieve. So you must not follow my way, but I'm just showing you how to use Pixellab. Alright, so over to the next tool, which is your spacing tool. Once you click on it, you can see the effects to space your layers and all. So if you want to add space between the words, you click on words and then you can increase it, you can reduce it. For the letters you can increase and also reduce as well. That's that. And then for the line spacing, okay, let's bring this down. For the line spacing, this is the work, you can see it. So that's the effect of the line spacing. So if I want to take the text to the new, you can raise it up and bring it down. And then your stroke, I'm just going to be adding the effect so that you will see what it does, right? So we want to add stroke to your text. You just turn it on and scroll, so you can increase the level of stroke, right? You can switch the colors, you can use gradients for that as well also. So that's that for that. And then you want to add shadows to your text, you can click on it, and then the features below are what you can use to control your shadows. Let's say you want to reduce the opacity, or you want to make it more blurry so you can see the effect, or you want to enable outer glow, you can enable it, it becomes thicker, right? So you can also use the offsets to set it to your x-axis and then also to your y-axis as well. Then you can also switch your colors to whichever one you prefer. And then over to your inner shadow. So this is the first shadow we just use now is your outer shadow, right? Let me just do that one. And then the next one is your inner shadow. So you want to add inner shadow to your text. You can see it is filling it just inside, it's not affecting the outer aspect of that element. So that's that. Then this emboss, let's change our font so that you can be seeing their effects clearly. Let's click on Milka, this font here, click on OK. Okay, I like this font a lot. Okay, let me make it a little bit big. Okay, I think I forgot to show you something. This align tool here, once you click on it, you can align your text to the middle, to the right, to your left, to whichever one you want to. So that's that for that. So I'm aligning it to the middle. So once you come back to your emboss, once you click on emboss and enable it, you want to make your text look shiny. That is the work of your emboss. You can all see it, right? You can all see the effects here. So you just for you to set it to the one you prefer, okay? And then you can select the angle you want it to be, and then you click on OK. And then when it comes to perspective, once you enable your perspective and come back to your layout, you can use these 4 dots, 1 2 3 4 on your text to adjust your text however you want it. So you can see that maybe you want to do a design on a billboard, we can just use this perspective. So let me click on it again. You can use your perspective to fit it into your billboard, okay? So that's that for that. Let's undo it because I don't need it. Let's undo the emboss as well. When you come to 3D text, this tool is a very handy tool and very useful one when it comes to designing. 3D effect brings your text to life, and it brings, or it gives a lot of uniqueness to your design. So we are going to click on it right away and enable it. if you look closely at your text, you can notice a difference. I've disabled it right now and I've enabled it back. Alright, so you can increase the depth, you can reduce the depth. I believe you can see the effects. Alright, then you can select auto, you can select color, the color that you want. You can also select gradient color. It doesn't affect the color of your text, it only affects the 3D effect that you are trying to do. Okay, let's say we're using this green, it's kind of fine. So you want to darken the background, you can darken it, you can see the effects. Right, so let's darken it a little. So this is okay. So when you scroll next, you can see your rotates, you can rotate your x-axis, right, or to your y-axis, whichever way you prefer. Let's make it look something like this, and also to your z. This is just for rotation as well. So I want to set it to 0 because we don't need that effect. Now this light angle is where you want your light to be coming in from, so you can set it. Okay, in this text, the way the text is positioned, it shows that the light is coming from up, so this is not supposed to be down, it's supposed to be up, making the down look kind of darkened. And then the intensity, you can reduce it, you can increase it, you can reduce it, you can increase it as well. And also the shadow, you can see that as well. Okay, the shadow is very important because if you watch the first tutorial video on the basics of design, you will understand the work of your shadow. Your shadow is what makes your object appears to be 3D. Okay, so that's that for 3D effects. Then when you come to your 3D shadow, once you click on it, it just brings a shadow below your text, right? So that's what it does. It just brings a shadow below your text, making it look like it's on the air or hanging somewhere. And then your reflection effect, which is the last one. And then your reflection effect, which is the last one. So I'm going to click on it right away. Once you enable it, you can see its effects. So the vertical offset, there's no other way to work on this, which I don't really like. I wish there's a way we can make it to be more faded and to be nice. There's a way to do it manually though. You have to duplicate your text and then flip it downward and then use a gradient color. That's another way to achieve it as well. Well, that's going to be for another section, right? So this is all you need to know for your text section. This is very, very important because if you don't know how to manipulate your text effects, you may not be really good when it comes to design. So we're going to be looking at this workspace below here, the middle one. There's a lot of things you can achieve on this workspace, right? So the first tool here in this workspace is our sticker tool. Once you click on it, now this stickers tool, there's a way you can go to the pro version and blah blah blah, upgrade 1000 etc, but I don't need it, so I'm not going to be explaining anything there. Their stickers are not really handy, they're kind of outdated, and so this is one of the things they have there. It's not really useful for me, I don't know about you, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. Alright, so the next tool here is your import tool. Now we can import PNG files into this place. We can import backgrounds, I'm going to show you how to use backgrounds on Pixellab. A lot of people make mistake by importing backgrounds, except you want to do background manipulation. So let's import Chadash media logo here. So once you click on import, you're going to open your folder. Alright, so I'm going to go to over where I have my logo saved. Okay, so I'm going to click on it and scroll. Okay, so this is Chadash media. I'm going to click on it and you can see it's transparent, right? So I already have the transparent version of this logo saved, so that's why it's transparent. And then I'm going to click on OK. Alright, so this is in my background. I can move it to wherever I want to. So that's the work of your import tool. You can import whatever you want to import. Let's import the picture of a human or a model. So I'm just gonna scroll. I have a folder for that as well, model PNGs. Alright, so let's say I want to select what we selecting now. Let's say I want to select this guy over here. You can see that the background is also transparent because I've removed the background. I'm going to be showing you how to do all of that, right, in another video. So you can actually crop it even after clicking on OK. So I'll just click on OK and then I can adjust it, right? Yeah, wow, this is nice. I like it. This is really cool. Yeah. Okay, so once you click on your elements that you've imported into Pixellab, let's click on this guy. Once you click on it, alright, so I'm gonna be explaining the work of this tool. This reselect means you want to change the image, you want to select another image. Maybe you mistakenly selected the wrong person, so you can just click on reselect. You already know the work of delete, you already know the work of crop, and you already know the work of copy. So they are just basically the same thing I've been explaining. Okay, over to color, which is different. Once you click on color and enable it, it fills up the person's immediately, so you won't be able to see anything. It makes the person look like a 2D and all of that. So that's the work of color. It fills up the entire section of the image. And you already know the work of your texture. If I use the texture now, let's select this image again, you're going to see the work. So it's going to fill in that space of the image as well, but I'm going to delete that because I don't need it. But you already know the work of your opacity. You can reduce the opacity of the guy. Maybe you can reduce his opacity, or let's say we want to duplicate. I'm going to click on copy, bring him down and then fade it, which is the same thing as opacity. I can reduce the opacity as well, you know, or then take him backward to back. Once I click on it, it goes backward. And then over to your color filters. Once you click on your color filters, you can see the hue where you can switch the colors of the person. Sorry for that, you can switch the colors. Okay, so I'm not using the right image, so let's select this one that's more visible, so you can switch the colors of the person. Alright, so that's the work of the hue. On Pixellab, you cannot switch the colors of only the clothes. There's a way to do it, but I'm going to be sharing that in a masterclass tutorial, right? Not in this video. Alright, so when you come to your saturation, you want to increase the vibrancy of your color and all of that, so you can make the person just black and white. So you can increase it. I don't really like it so much, but let's just leave it like this. Then for the brightness, you want to increase the brightness of your image. You know, if you click on that logo, it's the same effects that you'll be seeing or getting. Okay, and then your contrast, it's actually spoiling the image, so we're gonna undo everything. Alright, so that's that for color filters. Then stroke, you want to add stroke to the guy. Once you enable it, you can see the stroke. You can increase the level of stroke Alright, so let's reduce it. Okay, this is kind of better. You can also switch the colors to whichever one you prefer. And then over to your eraser. A lot of people use this, though when I started designing, I think as of 2022, I was using this to remove background as well. So you can also use it to remove background if you have the patience to learn, but I can't remember the last time I did this. It's completely useless to me because I found a better way, a faster way to remove my backgrounds clean and excellent, right? Using this tool is very limited. So let's move over to the next one. That mask tool is another crazy tool that is very good, but we're not going to be exploring that in this video. So let's go over to erase color. Now once you click on this erase color, it's going to erase the white section of this image. If you notice, wherever is having white, the more you increase the tolerance percentage, it's going to reduce or make that part of the image completely transparent. Alright, so let's say we want to take out the suit. We are going to click on it, select the suit, right, and click on OK. You can see that the suit is kind of fading. So whichever part of this image that have the same color and you select that color, that part of the image is going to fade out automatically. So you can smoothen the edges as well, but we don't really need this right now. We're just gonna undo it. Alright, so you already know the work of rotate. Now this 3D rotates, you can rotate to your x-axis. Yeah, it's kind of nice though. Or you can rotate to your y-axis, whichever one you prefer. Yeah, then your 3D shape, once you enable it, it's not really handy. A lot of person doesn't use it though because it's not that useful when you want to use it for a human, a model PNG, but we can apply it to our logo, right? Let's click on 3D shape. Let me expand it so that you can see clearly. Let's delete this guy here, we don't need it again. I'm just going to delete and click on that logo and click on 3D shape. So there's oblique and there's perspective, right? So you can increase the depth, you can reduce the depth. It's not really showing that 3D yet because there's no shadow at the back of this. Let's just go ahead and add shadow so that you can see. So once I add shadow, it's going to start looking like 3D. I'm going to use my y-axis offsets and bring that shadow down. So now it's looking as if it is on this background because of the shadow, right? Yeah, the same thing it is for text 3D, the same effect, controls and all, and then your perspective tool as well, the way I explained in the other video, the same thing too as well. Just gonna disable it and move forward. Alright, so your inner shadow, that's the same thing. Let's say I want to add green or want to add white. Alright, so that's the effect of the inner shadow. And then this emboss to make it look kind of shiny, so you can increase the bevel level here. Just find your way around it until you get what you're looking for. Okay, I think I like this. Yeah, I like this. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Alright, for some of you, your phone will not be able to do this emboss, and that cannot be fixed. Okay, the only way it can be fixed is that you have to get another phone, or I'm going to be showing you how to pass over that manually. There's a way you can achieve it. If this phone was having that issue, I would have been able to show you, but I'm going to show you in another tutorial video on how to achieve that. Okay, alright, so that's that for your import tool over, so your draw tool. Once you click on it, you can set how you want to draw. Alright, so you can just start drawing anything on the line, right? Alright, so let's draw a young girl. What am I even doing here? Okay. Alright, so that's the work of a draw tool. You can draw whatever you want to draw. And then over to your shapes. Once you click on shapes, and then you click on this first icon here, down here. Once you click on it, you can select any shape you want. As you click on it, select any shape you want. Let's say I want to use this shape. The radius is to make it look roundish and all of that, right? So that's the work of the radius. And then your opacity, you remember that. Then your fill color is the color of your shape. And then your stroke, there's a stroke, but because it's black, that's why you're not seeing it. So I'm going to change the color of the stroke to green, so you can see that. You can also blur your stroke color here, right? Alright, so that's that for that. And then this bezier tool is gonna be in another tutorial. I'm just going through the basics of Pixellab. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Over to the last workspace. Okay, not the last, second to the last. The last one is not that hard, so second to the last. Once you click on it, now whatever you do here affects only your background, right? So this is the best or the right way to select background for your designs. On this place, you can change the size of your design. Let's say I want to change this to YouTube size. Just click on YouTube banner, right? And then we change the size as well to YouTube size. Okay. Meanwhile, once you're bringing in your image, you can select any size that you want to use, right? Okay, so let's come over to the first tool. Once you click on color, you know the work of color already, so you can select transparent, but whatever you do here affects your background, right? Whatever you do here affects your background. So there's a white background. Now the work, once you can click on image and then add select just down so you can pan it over to transparent, and then your background will be completely transparent. Let's say I switch this text here to black. Let's write Chadash media. Let's do something. Okay, just follow me closely. Chadash media, and click on OK. Let's change the font to one font recently used, Minka font, right? Alright, let's use our relative position and put this at the middle, right? Alright, so I'm going to save this right now. Once I click on save as image. And when you are saving your design from Pixellab, always learn to use the ultra quality. Okay, once you click on this custom here, you're going to say ultra. Though there are some designs that will be very heavy and will not be able to save. Alright, so you have to step down the quality a little bit. I always select ultra and then I click save to gallery. I will just add everything. Cancel it. Okay. So let's go over to this to the last tool again and select color. Let's say this time around I want to use gradient color. Let's just something like this. Okay, so right now I'm going to delete this text from this place. I'm going to delete it. Alright, so now I just wanted to show you the work of a transparent background, right? So we've saved an image. I'm going to click on import. I want to import the image we just saved right now. Okay, it's already shown over there on Pixellab because the text is black, that's why. Right, so you can see the sides or the background of this text is completely transparent because I selected transparent as my background. Once I click on OK, this comes here transparent. I can now edit this because it is not a text. This is now an image because I saved it right on a transparent background. Do you understand now? So that's the work of a transparent background, right? So maybe you're designing a logo and you want to save it on transparent background. That's how you save it. It's not hard. So let's move over to the next tool here. Alright, so this image size, for example, if I'm using this size and I want to lock it, okay, you can lock it over from this place. You can crop color too as well. You can lock color too as well until you're using an image as your background, right? So when you click on this image here, they're just images from Pixellab, which I don't use at all. Alright, they can be handy as well. So once you click on it, you click on OK. When you come to this image size, you can click on don't recrop. Once you click on don't recrop, whatever you're bringing into this into your design as, or whichever image you are bringing as your background, it will be cropped instantly to YouTube size because you have clicked on don't recrop, right? So we're going to select OK. Now the next tool from gallery, it means you want to use an image that you downloaded as in your gallery as your background. So we're going to click on it and scroll. Okay, let me come over to pins. The things are actually from Pinterest. Okay, I want to use this as the background, right? So you see that it is automatically going to be cropped to YouTube size. Meanwhile, you can change your sizes here. You see, you can change the size of your design here, but that's not what we want to do. Let's select it back again. Alright, so this background cannot be moved, it can only be edited. Alright, so you can use from camera if you want to snap or something, but we're not going to be doing that, so let's just go back. We're not going to be doing that. Okay, so that's just it. Alright, let me show you how to change the size of your design. Right, so once you click on from gallery, okay, let's want to use this image here, so you can see different sizes below. So there's 1.1 ratio, there's 16.9 ratio, or format, whichever one you want to use. Alright, so you can just select this as portraits, so whichever one you want to use. But in this video, I'm going to be using this first ratio here. This size works best for social media posting, like you want to do design for Facebook and all of that. You can do other sizes as well, but this design comes perfectly. Alright, so we're just going to click on OK. Yeah, so we have this as our background. I can't move it, it's just there like that. So if you want to edit your background, you click on this last workspace here, which I'm going to be explaining in this video. Once you click on it, you can click on rotate, and it will just keep rotating for you, right? And then you can click on this, I don't know how to pronounce that. Once you click on it, this next tool here, and you enable it, you can see the effect. You're adding like a dark effect. You can actually change the colors to whichever one you want to. And then over to the noise tool here. Alright, you can see the effects. Okay, and then over to your stripes here, you can also see the effect. You can increase alpha, reduce it, you can increase it, and how you want it to repeat itself and all. And over to your brightness, your contrast, your hue, to switch the colors, and then your saturation, you can make it black and white. You want to increase it. Alright, so that's just that. So these are the basics of Pixellab. But before you go, let me show you something on how to save a project. Right, you want to save your design as a project, so maybe your phone shuts down and you don't lose your design. So you click on save. Once you click on save, you see the first option is showing you is save as project or save as image. Let's click save as project. We're going to name this project media. Okay, once if you want to access your project, there are two ways. When you click on this first workspace here, you can see my project, or once you click on these three dots here, you can select open PLP file. Alright, so you can see all your projects here. Alright, that's another way. So usually you click here as well too. So this is the design we just saved, right? We just saved it as our project. So this is the media project I just saved.